The man accused of killing a Loyola student is now also facing federal charges. Jose Medina is charged in the death of 18-year-old Sheridan Gorman. Prosecutors say that he shot the teen at a Rogers Park beach last month, and now he's also being charged with illegally possessing a firearm. Medina is from Venezuela and in this country illegally.
The tragic death of Sheridan Gorman. A night that began with friends and ended in unthinkable loss. A life interrupted. It was supposed to be a peaceful night. A group of college friends walking near the water, enjoying the quiet, maybe even hoping to witness something beautiful, the northern lights. But in a matter of seconds, everything changed. One gunshot shattered the silence. And with it, the life of an 18-year-old young woman full of promise, Sheridan Gorman. This is the story of who she was, what happened that night, and the painful lessons we must learn. Sheridan Gorman was just 18 years old, at the very beginning of her journey into adulthood. She grew up in Yorktown Heights, a suburban community where she was known as kind, warm, and deeply loved. Friends described her as gentle and compassionate, quietly confident, someone who brought people together. She wasn't just another student, she was someone who made others feel seen. From a young age, Sheridan showed signs of discipline and ambition. She was involved in school activities, athletics, and built strong friendships that followed her into adulthood. Sheridan had recently begun a new chapter of her life at Loyola University Chicago, where she was a freshman. She was reportedly pursuing her studies with enthusiasm and optimism. Like many young students, she had dreams, building a career, forming lifelong friendships, exploring independence. Her family described her as someone who had her entire future ahead of her, a future filled with. Sheridan came from a close-knit family. Her parents, especially her mother, would later speak publicly about the devastating loss, describing Sheridan as the light of our lives, deeply loving, a source of joy and strength. She had no children and was not publicly known to be in a serious relationship. Her focus at that stage of life was education, friends, friendships, and personal growth. To her family, she wasn't just a daughter. She was everything. On March 19, 2026, Sheridan was out with friends near campus in Chicago. It was late, around 1:30 a.m. The group had gone to Toby Prince Beach, a location close to campus, where students often gather. There was nothing unusual about what they were doing. They were simply walking together, enjoying the night, spending time as college students do. Some reports suggest they were even hoping to catch a glimpse of the northern lights. Everything about the moment was normal. Until it wasn't. Without warning, a man approached the group. Witnesses reported that he came out from nearby brush. He was dressed in dark clothing, his face was partially covered. Then, in a sudden and terrifying moment, he pulled out a gun. He fired. Just one shot. That single bullet struck Sheridan in the head. Her friends ran in fear, scattering in different directions. When they returned, Sheridan was lying on the ground, unresponsive. She died at the scene. The news spread quickly. Students at Loyola University Chicago were left in shock. Vigils were held. Friends gathered in silence, struggling to process what had happened. The university released a statement expressing profound sadness over the loss. Back home in New York, her family received the news no parent should ever hear. Her father's message was simple, yet heartbreaking: go hug your kids. Chicago police launched an immediate investigation. Initially, the attack appeared random. There was no known connection between Sheridan and the shooter, no prior warning, no clear motive. Investigators relied on witness statements, surveillance footage, forensic evidence. Soon, a suspect was identified. Authorities arrested a 25-year-old man in connection with the shooting. He was charged with first-degree murder, additional firearm-related offenses. Reports indicate that the suspect approached the group and opened fire without provocation. This detail made the case even more disturbing. There was no argument, no confrontation, just a sudden act of violence. Was this random? Police have described the attack as random. But Sheridan's family has challenged that characterization. To them, labeling it random does not lessen the pain or the urgency of accountability. They emphasized she was doing something completely normal. Walking with friends, near campus, in a place she should have felt safe. This tragedy left a deep and lasting impact. 1. A life cut short. Sheridan was only 18. She had barely begun her adult life. 2. A family devastated. Her parents lost a daughter. Her friends lost someone who brought light into their lives. 3. A community in fear. Students began questioning their safety. How could something like this happen so close to campus? Cases like Sheridan's highlight several critical societal issues. 1. Random violence in public spaces. Even seemingly safe environments can become dangerous. Late-night areas, even near campuses, can carry hidden risks. 2. Youth vulnerability. Young people, especially students, often feel a sense of safety in groups. But unpredictability can still exist. 3. Gun violence. The presence of a firearm turned a brief encounter into a fatal one. Without a weapon, this moment might have passed without consequence. Lessons and prevention. Sheridan's story carries powerful lessons that can help save lives. 1. Situational awareness. Even in familiar places, staying alert is important. Lesson. Be aware of surroundings, especially at night. 2. Group safety planning. Walking in groups helps, but it's not foolproof. Lesson. Stick together, avoid isolated areas, and have a plan. 3. Campus safety measures. Universities must continue improving. Lighting patrol presence emergency response systems. 4. Community responsibility. Communities should report suspicious behavior immediately. Lesson. Prevention often starts with awareness. 5. Addressing violence at the root. Long-term prevention requires addressing crime, access to weapons, social instability. 6. Supporting victims' families. Families affected by violence need emotional support, justice, community solidarity. Final reflection. A life that meant something. The story of Sheridan Gorman is not just about how she died. It's about who she was. A daughter, a friend, a student with dreams. Her life mattered, and her story is a reminder that safety should never be taken for granted. She was doing everything right, surrounded by friends, close to campus, living her life. And yet, in one moment, everything was taken. The question we must ask is not just what happened, but how we make sure it never happens again. If you care about accountability, subscribe to True Crime Echoes channel. If you are new here or wherever you are watching from, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It is really heartbreaking. Jose Medina, the killer, was he manipulated, hiding himself early hours of the morning to end a life. A life lost can't be brought back. If this case makes you think twice, click on the subscribe button right now. Share this story for a moment. Thanks for watching. Turn on the notifications. Stay safe and stay vigilant.